Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some super popular, super hyped up fragrances on YouTube. I'm going to let you know whether or not I think they are actually worth the hype or not. I'm going to let you know whether I plan on bringing them into my collection or not, and just my overall general feelings and thoughts on these perfumes. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do mostly perfume, makeup, and beauty on this channel. If you are into that kind of content, I would love it if you would subscribe. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I really appreciate you. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on some of these super popular perfumes, then just keep on watching. All right, first up, let's talk about what I have on my eyes today. So this is the brand new palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This is Hudson Valley, and they did gift this to me, but they didn't ask me to speak about it. They never asked me to speak about their eyeshadow palettes. They just send them to me, and they never ask for anything in return. Nomad Cosmetics is one of my favorite eyeshadow brands. I would purchase their eyeshadow palettes with my own money if they didn't send them to me. And yeah, I'm just thankful to Nomad for gifting me this. This says fall, doesn't it? I mean, look at this color story, you guys. This is fall in a palette. I just love Nomad. I love the concept of Nomad. I love that they go to different places and make eyeshadow palettes based on the places that they've been. So this one is Hudson Valley, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. This green shimmer shade is what I have all over my lid, and then the yellows on the inner corner, and it's stunning. So very cute, very fall-like, and yeah, I'm just really into this palette right now. One of the new release perfumes I was super excited about was the new one from Prada. I think it's called PARADOXE, and it is one that I had my eye on because I really like the bottle. I think it's cute, and I don't know, I was just really curious to see what it would smell like. I had the opportunity to test it out. I went to the store and I sprayed it on a tester strip, and I also sprayed it on the back of my hand. And this isn't like a full-on review of this perfume, it's just a first impression. I've only tried it once in the store, but my first impression of it was that it wasn't anything that blew me away. Honestly, I was a little underwhelmed with this fragrance, and I don't know, I feel like it was a nice fragrance for sure. It smelled beautiful, but it kind of smelled like other fragrances that I've already smelled before. It really just didn't blow my skirt up at all. It didn't do anything for me, and I kind of, like I said, I kind of felt a little underwhelmed. This is classified as a warm floral, and it has neroli bud, white amber, and white musk. It just kind of smelled like your typical musky floral scent. So again, not a bad fragrance, and I can't speak about the projection or the performance of the fragrance. It didn't seem like a weak perfume to me. It seemed like it was wafting pretty well off the back of my hand, but I can't really go by that. You know, you have to do a full wear test on a perfume. So I can't really speak to the performance. It seemed okay to me first impression wise, but the scent was just really underwhelming, and I am not interested in getting a full bottle of that. Another newish release I was super excited about is by Lancome. It's the IDÔLE Nectar. I think the bottle is stunning. I absolutely just love the bottle, and I really wanted to love this fragrance. I really enjoy IDÔLE Aura. That's my favorite from the entire line. The other ones are nice, but Aura is my favorite. It has that salty note in it. It kind of smells like watermelon to me, and I was really excited for this one. I thought this one was going to be perfect for fall. It has a caramel and a popcorn note, which I'm totally here for. It just sounded so delicious. And unfortunately for me, it didn't work out. Now, this one is kind of a weird one. I've heard different opinions about this fragrance, and I've heard that different people pick up different things. So I was at the store, I tested it out, sprayed it on a tester strip and the back of my hand. I was with my husband that day, and when I sprayed it on the back of my hand, I didn't get any of the caramel or any of the popcorn. Nothing. I just got like tart, fruity notes. So in the top you have 3 different types of roses, then you have caramel, popcorn, and vanilla. So there are no fruity notes in this fragrance. So I'm not sure what my skin was doing with this perfume, but it wasn't doing good things. It smelled like rotten fruit basically on my skin. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. On the tester strip, I just smelled a lot of rose. I wasn't getting caramel or popcorn. My husband, on the other hand, when he smelled it on the tester strip, he smelled caramel and popcorn. So I thought that was super interesting because he was picking it up and I wasn't, but we both agreed when I put it on my skin that this was not a fragrance for me. Yeah, it smelled almost like rotten fruit. So I don't think that that's the perfume. I think that's me. I think my skin chemistry and this perfume do not mesh. And that's kind of the way I feel like the entire range of IDÅLE is. I feel like these fragrances either mesh with your skin or they don't. Like IDÅLE Aura doesn't mesh with everybody's skin chemistry. Some people hate the salt that's in there. I've heard some people say they cannot stand that fragrance, but I love it. It really works with my skin chemistry. This one just didn't work with my skin chemistry, so I would say this isn't a safe blind buy. Please try before you buy, because who knows what it's going to do with your skin. Okay, so another new release, well, it's not a brand new release, but it's newer, I guess you could say. It's by Creed and it's called Windflowers. I got a chance to finally test this one out. I was super excited, and it was another fragrance that left me feeling super underwhelmed. The price on this fragrance is outrageous. It's outrageous. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. Is it a pretty fragrance? It really is. It's a pretty fragrance. It is a sweeter, white floral, kind of powdery type of fragrance. It's very pretty, but the price is just, it's too much. And I just can't imagine paying that amount of money for that fragrance. It didn't blow my socks off. It didn't do anything special. It just smelled like every other sweet white floral, semi-powdery, very feminine, pretty scent. You know, it just didn't have anything extra special to it to make me rush out and buy this perfume. So I just think the price is ridiculous. Not even a chance on God's green earth that I would pay that money for this fragrance, and I don't think it's worth the price at all. I definitely don't recommend it to you guys. I think there are other white floral fragrances out there that are much better that do not cost that much money. So I wasn't super impressed. Again, I don't think it's a bad perfume by any stretch of the imagination. It's nice. It's got jasmine, peach, orange blossom, tuberose, some rose. In the base you have musk, praline, orange blossom, iris, and sandalwood. We've seen all those notes before, and yeah, very pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like all of those notes. It's definitely a fragrance I enjoyed, just not one I would spend that much money for. So anyway, it's a no for me on Windflowers by Creed. And I did get to test out the new My Way. This one's not brand new either. This has been out for a few months now. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but I know it was this year. This is by Giorgio Armani, My Way Floral. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that I absolutely adore the original My Way, and I really enjoy the Intense version as well. I only own the original My Way because I feel like the Intense and the original are similar. I think when I'm done with the original My Way, I might get the Intense version and kind of switch it up a little bit, because I think they're both extremely gorgeous, but they're just so similar. I don't know that I want to pay money to have them both in my collection at the same time, and I was a little nervous that floral was going to be the same thing, but I was pleasantly surprised because this is definitely different from the first two. So top notes, you have orange blossom, green mandarin, and bitter orange, and that green mandarin that's in the opening, I can really make it out, and it gives it this like fresh feel. The original is very tuberose heavy. It's bubblegummy tuberose, and so is the Intense version. Very bubblegum tuberose, and I really love that. I love bubblegummy tuberose, and I love those fragrances. But if that was too much for you, if you felt like My Way was too much tuberose for you, you might want to give the floral a try, because the tuberose is still there, but it is toned down quite a bit, and I feel like the orange blossom is actually the star of the show in this. So that green mandarin helps to give it kind of a freshness and a tad bit, not green, but kind of like a green fresh feel, more like a spring, summertime. The orange blossom definitely shines in this fragrance, and then that bitter orange comes through as well. So I actually really enjoyed this fragrance quite a bit. And then of course you do have the tuberose as well. It is there, it is present, but it is not as like loud and in your face as the original. You have some neroli, and then in the base you have that bourbon vanilla that I absolutely adore, and then you have white musk as well. So I really enjoyed this fragrance. I I do want a bottle of this in my collection. I feel like it's different enough from the other two to definitely justify having it in my collection. I think I'm gonna wait until spring and summer though before I buy a bottle, because right now I'm just not in the mood for this fragrance. This is definitely more of a spring summer-esque type of fragrance for me. It's just not something I think I would reach for a ton right now. Right now it's starting to be fall, and as you can see, I'm in the Halloween spirit. I'm in the fall spirit. I'm in that kind of mode right now. I want warm, cozy, warm, spicy, sweet type of fragrances, and I don't want fresh. Yeah, I don't really want these type of fragrances right now, even though I do really enjoy them in the right season. So my Way Floral will be added to my collection. I really enjoyed it, but not now. I'm gonna wait until fall and winter are over, and then I'll bring it on into my collection. Okay, now we're gonna talk about a fragrance that has been around for a little while, but it is super hyped up here on YouTube, and people talk about this one all the time. And I'm probably the last content creator that does perfume that had not smelled this perfume yet, but I finally got a decant of it. This is by the House of BDK. This is Soir. I have been so curious about this fragrance, you guys, because this is definitely a perfume I've heard people say they love, and I've also heard a lot of people say they hate. So I was super curious to find out for myself. This is an interesting fragrance. This is one that kind of threw me off just a little bit. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first. In the opening, you have ginger, mandarin orange, and black pepper, and I honestly thought that black pepper was going to completely ruin it for me. I'm not really a black pepper type of person. I don't put black pepper on my food. I don't really like it very much. And I always kind of think of black pepper in a negative kind of way, but apparently in perfumes, I kind of like it. It adds kind of like a spicy kick to the fragrance that makes it interesting. So I would say this is definitely an interesting fragrance. The ginger and the pepper definitely gives it this spicy kick. You also have quince, jasmine, and orange blossom, and then in the base you have cashmerian, amberwood, and patchouli. And like I said, this is one that when I first smelled it, I was kind of surprised. It is very fruity. There's a lot of like a fruity, I guess it's the orange and the quince in here. It's very strong. It smells very fruity, but then it's not overly fruity because it kind of gets toned down by those spicy ginger and black pepper notes. It's just such an interesting combination. Super fruity, yet kind of spicy. And then you have patchouli, you have musk, and you have cashmerian in the base. It's one of those fragrances I kept going back to. So as you can see from my decant here, I have worn this one a few times because I just kept going back to it. I would smell it, I would think, I don't know how I feel, but then I'd want to go back and smell it again. And eventually I realized I kept wanting to go back to it. The more I went back to it, the more I liked it, and now I feel like this is a full-blown love. Okay, if you've only tried this on paper, you have to put it on your skin. You absolutely have to. It does different things on skin than on paper. That fruity quince and orange is definitely present. It's very strong, but I definitely pick up on that ginger and that black pepper for sure. And it just gives it this warm, spicy feel to the fragrance that I am so addicted to. This is an addictive scent. So sometimes with BDK perfumes, I get a little bit nervous about buying full bottles of their fragrances because the performance isn't always great. I have had, and I will talk about this today because I have another BDK I want to talk about. I have had some fragrances that I had really good luck with their performance, and then I've had some that are just absolutely awful. This one's actually not bad. It's not a loud perfume. It doesn't fill up a room or anything like that. It doesn't last for days and days. But for me, when I've worn this, I really didn't have any complaints. It lasted a decent amount of time. I think I got about 6 hours, which is acceptable to me with a moderate projection. So to me, I feel like this is a moderate fragrance all around, and I just really enjoy it. I also feel like it's one of those fragrances that would fit in any season. The fruitiness that's in here kind of gives it a summertime, springtime feel. You've got jasmine and orange blossom that kind of gives it that flowery springtime feel. You've got the fruits in the opening that kind of give it that citrusy, fruity, summertime feel, but then you've got that warm spiciness from the ginger and black pepper that kind of reminds me of like a fall and winter type of scent. To me, it feels like all the seasons combined into one perfume, and I think it's amazing. I'm gonna add Pas Ce Soir into my collection for sure. I think it's probably one of the next ones on my list to buy, and I do think it is full bottle worthy for me. Okay, the other one by the House of BDK that I've been testing out is Bri Charnel. Again, I am very late to the party. This one is talked about all the time and people just rave about this perfume. I know there is an extrait version out there. I have not had a chance to smell that one, but I really needed to get my nose on this one. The reason why I didn't get my nose on this one is because I feel like, I just kind of felt like it wasn't going to be for me. It's not necessarily my scent profile. So top notes, you have cardamom, fig, and black tea. The cardamom kind of scared me because I'm not always the biggest fan of cardamom, and I'm not the biggest fan of tea. There's also iris, bourbon, vetiver, sandalwood, and tonka bean in this fragrance. This is another very interesting fragrance. I feel like this is definitely unique and there's nothing really out there like it. I appreciate this fragrance for what it is, for sure. I think it's a really good fragrance, to be honest, and I do feel like it is worth the hype. It's interesting, it's unique, it's not really something you're gonna smell in any other, you know, you're not gonna go to a department store and find this fragrance, you know what I mean? It's definitely a niche smelling fragrance for sure. I feel like this leans a bit masculine for my taste, and I was really confused when I was wearing this because I enjoyed it, I liked it. It kind of smelled like a chai tea latte to me, and I love chai tea lattes. It's the only tea I like. Chai tea lattes I really enjoy, and it kind of reminded me of that, and I did think it was good. So yes, I think this is full bottle worthy for a lot of people. I think if this is your scent profile, it's a very good fragrance, and the performance on this is good. I have heard some people say that they didn't think the performance on this is good. That's not my experience. I wore this yesterday. I sprayed it on in the morning, and I could smell it the next day when I woke up. I put it on my shirt, and I put it on my skin and my shirt. I had it in my hair, I had it on my skin, and I had it on my shirt. It lasted through the entire day, and when I woke up this morning, I could still smell it on my shirt. It wasn't on my skin, but it was on my shirt. So I beg to differ that this isn't a good performing perfume. At least it was on me. All right, up next, we're going to talk about a fragrance that is super polarizing and super talked about here on YouTube. And this is by Tom Ford Black Orchid. I had a feeling I wasn't going to like this perfume, and I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I hate this perfume. I know hate is a very strong word, but I hate this perfume. I'm not going to spray it because this perfume actually makes me gag, and I cannot do it. I just cannot do it. There are 1,000 notes in here. There are so many notes in this perfume, and I feel like it is a hot mess. You have black truffle in here. You have a lot of gardenia in here. There's a lot of ylang ylang. There's some fruits, there's some florals, there's some chocolate, patchouli, there's incense, there's musk, there's amber, sandalwood, vetiver. I mean, there's like every note in this perfume mixed together, and in my opinion, not mixed well. It's just, it's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. I cannot speak to the performance of this fragrance at all because I cannot get past it long enough to keep it on. I have actually forced myself to spray this on my skin a couple of times because, you know, you can't really get the full gist of a fragrance by spraying it on paper, but every single time I've had to wash it off. I have nothing for this fragrance, absolutely nothing for it. It smells like something is decaying, is what it smells like to me. It literally reminds me of something decaying, and I can't do it. So anyway, I don't have a ton of experience with this fragrance because, like I said, I can't get past just a few minutes of having this on before I have to run and take it off. But if that gives you any indication of how much I hate this fragrance, it is definitely a no for me. Okay, a fragrance I was super excited to try, and the beautiful Veronica from Veronica Says sent me this sample. If you have not checked out her channel, you need to. She has amazing recommendations. She has a enormous perfume collection, and yeah, you need to check her out because her personality is fantastic, her fragrance selection, her collection is fantastic. Definitely check her out. But she sent me a sample of Wicked Good by Gallagher Fragrances. I am really glad she sent this sample over because this is not for me, unfortunately. I'm not sure what it is that I'm smelling in here that kind of gives me a like a dirty, like actual dirt vibe. But I'm not loving this, you guys. Yeah, I don't love this at all. It smells very strong like chocolate. Like the chocolate note in here is very realistic. It's very prominent. So if you like chocolate fragrances, you might want to try this out. I'm not actually getting it from the paper. On paper, this actually smells nice. So you get this milk chocolate. There's also tonka bean and Madagascar vanilla in this fragrance. On paper, it smells good. If you're into realistic milk chocolate scents, you might want to give this a shot. But when I put it on my skin, it went in a different direction. It smelled like milk chocolate and dirt mixed together. And yeah, I can't get into it. So I think this is another one of those fragrances that it's just my skin chemistry not meshing well with the fragrance, and not necessarily that the fragrance itself is bad. So definitely check it out. Try, if you can get a sample of it, try it first before you buy it, because I don't think this is a safe blind buy. So for me, it's a no, but I know a lot of people really do love Wicked Good. And if it doesn't give you that dirt smell, then and you like chocolate, then it's going to be everything you hoped and dreamed for. So definitely try before you buy, but for me, unfortunately, it is a no. Now, a chocolate fragrance that did work out for me is by 4160 Tuesdays. This is Over the Chocolate Shop. This perfume, I love this perfume, and I know that there are people out there who don't think that this is the best perfume ever, and I've heard a lot of people say that they absolutely love it. For me, this is perfect because this has chocolate and coffee, and I can smell both of them quite equally. I don't think it's more chocolate or more coffee to my nose. It's like I get this beautiful combination of chocolate and coffee. Now, the chocolate that's in here does not smell like milk chocolate or powdery chocolate or even like a super sweet chocolate. To me, the chocolate that's in here is a very dark chocolate, and the coffee that's in here is a very dark roast coffee, and I actually really like that. I don't like chocolate fragrances that are overly sweet. I don't know what it is about them, but it doesn't really mix with my skin chemistry very well. If I have chocolate fragrances, I need them to not be quite so milk chocolatey sweet. I love milk chocolate to eat. You know what I mean? Like, I like sweet milk chocolate to eat, but in my perfumes, I don't want it to be that sweet. So I didn't really know that about myself until recently when I've been testing out different chocolate fragrances, but I seem to just really like that dark chocolate, not so sweet vibe. I love, love, love dark roast coffee, and this perfume reminds me of like drinking my dark roast coffee literally on top, like you're above, you have an apartment on top of an actual chocolate factory, and you're drinking your delicious dark roast coffee while smelling wafts of this real dark chocolate being made in the shop. That's what it smells like to me, and I think it's so fun, and I just really enjoy it. Now, the performance on this is just moderate. It's not a really amazing, oh my gosh, you're going to smell this all day and just fill up a room type of fragrance, but I didn't have real problems with it. To me, I found it just to be moderate all around, definitely acceptable performance for me, and I find it to be such a cozy and comforting and unique scent, and I just really like it a lot. So this is definitely one that I personally like and I personally want to add into my collection. Do I think it's full bottle worthy for everyone? No, I don't. I don't think this is going to be a strong enough perfume for some people. I think some people that really want that dark roast, dark chocolate scent also want the perfume to be pretty loud and bold. You have bold scents, like bold flavors, you kind of want it to perform bold to match, and so for that reason I don't know if it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but for me, I actually really like it. So it is a yes for me, but I do say please try before you buy because I don't think it is a safe blind buy at all. Okay guys, I feel like I have been talking about a ton of perfumes, so we're just gonna stop there. I've been testing out so many fragrances lately, but that's all we're gonna talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section what fragrances you have been testing out lately and you have any on your radar that you want to recommend to me. I love getting suggestions from you guys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!